Hey, what's up, guys? A lot of you have been asking me lately, hey man, have you pre ordered PlayStation VR? Are you interested in PlayStation VR? I've been getting a lot of PlayStation VR emails. Like people would email me about the device. It's coming out this week. Have you tried it? What do you think about it? Are you going to buy it? And this video is going to be about that, me answering those questions that you all have been asking me about this device. Now, many of you know that I have pre-ordered PlayStation 4 Pro. That is my highest priority. It's PlayStation 4 Pro because my channel, it's mainly about upscaling and resolution and 4K. So that is my highest priority. That's the one thing I'm going to put on my highest priority. I pre-ordered that as soon as they announced it. I pre-ordered the 1 terabyte version, and I got it from GameStop. Also, I pre-ordered the Call of Duty game, that new Call of Duty game that comes with it. It's like a bundle deal I made with GameStop. But as far as PlayStation VR, I haven't pre-ordered it, and it's not because that I'm not interested in it. I just didn't get a chance to get my hands on it. I haven't had an opportunity to go to a demo booth to try it out. Granted, I could have drive 75 miles, 80 miles outside of where I live to go check out some of the demo booths, but it just didn't caught my attention that much. Reason being is because I have already tried out HTC Vive at my friend's house, and then my other friend has the Oculus Rift. So I'm kind of familiar with VR, virtual reality, not to mention that I have Gear, Samsung Gear VR, so I also had some opportunity to play with that. So I'm familiar with the VR. So there's nothing on PlayStation VR that's going to kind of blow my mind because I already am familiar with the VR and I tried it multiple times. But anyway, let me answer those questions that people have been asking me about PlayStation VR. Number one is no, I haven't pre-ordered it yet. Not because I don't have any interest in it, it's because I put PlayStation Pro as a highest priority for me. Okay? Because I did hear the rumors that there might be a shortage of PlayStation 4 Pros coming in November, and then the next shipment may be late December or mid-December before Christmas. It's kind of the same situation as PlayStation 4 when it was first released in 2013. So I'm kind of like, I want to make sure that my PlayStation 4 Pro, it's secure. Now, moving on to PlayStation VR. I did read some reviews about this device. I went through multiple outlets like Engadget, IGN, GameSpot, various different outlets, like very trustworthy outlets. And I went to these websites. I read through the reviews, and reviews are fairly decent. Like they're not like the greatest. It's not one of those things that you got to go out and buy it right now. One of the biggest issues they find out with PlayStation VR is the fact that the cable management is one of the issues they seem to be kind of like having a problem with. It has way too many cables. You got to remember, there's an additional device that's inside the box where you have to connect it to your USB, via your USB to your PlayStation 4, and then from there, you got another cable that goes into your headset, and then you got another cable that has to come out, be connected to your VR headset so you can control the volume and menu bar. And then on top of that, you got to use your, earbuds and connect them as well. So there's, and then camera, the eye camera too. So that's the one. If I would have to give this device, if I would have to kind of like rate it, I would say the one negative I would say would be the cables. It's like way too many cables, especially when you're dealing with something like VR where you're constantly moving. you're interacting, you're moving, and you're gonna trip on wires. You're gonna pull down your adapter. You're gonna pull down your console. You're gonna drag a lot of things. There's gonna be a lot of accidents with this device. I can see people pulling their consoles away, pulling their adapters away, and you'll see a lot of that probably this weekend, Friday, Saturday, when I think tomorrow, right, Thursday. This device is being released on Thursday, and I'm sure you'll see on Friday night, Saturday, through various live streams, people will start pulling the cords out, moving out of their chairs, especially if you get nauseous. If you get nausea, because with this game, it has 120 frames per second frame rate buffer on there, so you will get really sick playing certain games. You know what I mean? And once you take the headset off, you're gonna feel vertigo, and you're gonna forget where everything is. You're gonna pull the cables out. Remember, you also gotta use your move controllers, so that's an extra, added cables you have to think about, because you have to put a charging kit for the PlayStation Move, and you need 2 PlayStation Moves and a camera. So one negative I would give this device would be the camera. I mean the cable. Way too many cables. You know what I mean? It's just too much. And the second thing is the lower resolution. It uses 1080p, and the field of view is like only 100. It's not 110. So that's lower than even the new Samsung Gear VR. The new Samsung Gear VR has 110. This thing only has 100. So I don't know. I haven't tried it. I cannot really do a review on this. I cannot really tell you because I haven't tried it. I'm just trying to answer some of your questions. And one answer that I gave you is no, I haven't pre-ordered it. And am I going to buy it? I don't know. I mean, first I have to try it. I would have to go to my Best Buy demo booth. I need to check it out to see how it feels, to get a feel to it. But if you guys want my honest opinion, I'll give you my honest opinion. And please keep in mind what I'm going to say here next. It's just going to be my opinion. I personally think the fate of this device, PlayStation VR, will solely depend on its games. Okay? If this device doesn't bring anything to the table next year as far as gaming, if they're just releasing some indie games and some crappy games, like the games you see on Oculus Rift or Gear VR, it's going to kill the experience. It's not going to be worth that much. Developers will need to jump on the bandwagon, and they're going to have to accumulate PlayStation VR, work with the Sony, and accumulate different features. Like, I would like to see Call of Duty VR. I would like to see a Battlefield utilize VR. Gran Turismo, it's on board. That's a good news. Drive Club, it's on board. That's a good news. Final Fantasy, it's on board. That's a good news. Tomb Raider, it's already on board with the game that's already released called Rise of Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, 20th year anniversary. So the fate of this device will solely be dependent on the games. And I have a faith in this device. At the moment, I think it has the potential because PlayStation 4 Pro will give developers and PlayStation VR for them to utilize a much better graphical experience in PlayStation VR. And hopefully maybe they can even release a new headset with much better field of view, and much higher resolution. I don't think there's anything they can do with this headset at the moment. I think you're going to be stuck with 1080p. We might see a PlayStation VR 2 coming out, with PlayStation 4 Pro, a newer version down the road if this one becomes successful. and then we'll see a much higher resolution, 1440p, much better quality graphics, or maybe even a new camera or sensor. So at the moment, I don't know, guys. Is it worth it? That's a very good question. Is it really worth it? Here, let me just click out of here. Is this thing worth it? I don't know. It depends on you guys. It really depends. You have to keep in mind that this is the cheapest entry level for a immersive VR. But you gotta ask yourself, is it worth me spending $500 plus tax on PlayStation VR if there's only few games that I'm interested on? I think PlayStation VR and Sony are gonna have to reach to a broader audience. Like, they have to reach out to everybody. They have to reach out to all these developers. They're gonna have to reach out to racing fans, flight simulator fans, sports fans, action adventure fans. They're gonna have to go in variety to reach out and get as many people interested. You gotta give people a reason to buy something. Some people might be interested in climbing games. Some people might be interested in flight simulations or jet fighter simulations or driving a bus. Or I can see a huge potential. With what I'm trying to say is, I can see a huge potential for PlayStation VR, but it will really depend on the games and variety of different games and exclusives. It'll really depend on that. Your device, it's only as good as the games that it has. We've seen what happened to Kinect. Lack of games, lack of support for the games. We've seen what happened in 2009 to PlayStation Move. Lack of games, lack of support for the device, and it died. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen with this device, but it could happen if by next year, summer, we don't see more and more games coming out for this thing. Or let me put it this way. If by next year, October 2017, if we don't see that many games coming out, and when I say many games, I'm talking about variety of good games, simulators, action, sports, adventure, all types of different genres. If we don't see that, especially AAA games, if we don't see that coming out by the October, then you can see this device dropping down and being forgotten. But hey, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just doing this video to let you know what I think, give you my thoughts on it. I'm gonna try it out on Friday. I'll do a little demo booth test. I might even do some recording, and I'll let you know what I think. I'll give you my thoughts on it. And if I like it, if it's something that interests me, that I like it, then I'll buy it. My priority right now is PlayStation 4 Pro, because that's what my channel really is about. It's about resolution and TVs. And also my second highest priority is, actually my number one priority is a TV set. I'm sorry. My first priority is TV set, which I'm planning on buying. Vizio P Series in November. And then my second priority is PlayStation 4 Pro, because that's what my subscribers want to see. They want to see the difference between, PlayStation 4 Pro and how it stacks up with the upscale to, Xbox One S. Even though it's kind of pointless to compare the two, but I'm going to do that anyway, just so you guys can see it. But anyway, there's not much I can say other than thank you for all these questions. and I will check it out on Friday. I'll give you my honest thoughts, my honest opinion, and if it's something that I like, if it's something that grabs me and I like it, then I'll get it. But I don't know yet. Like I said, this is not my priority. VR, it's not like something I gotta have. You know what I mean? This is something I can always get down the road. My first two priorities I already told you. Vizio P Series, 65-inch HDR Dolby Vision television set. That's my number one highest priority. And the second highest priority, it's PlayStation 4 Pro. So there you have it, guys. But I will check it out on Friday just to let you know how I feel about it and what are my thoughts and opinions. Okay, so hopefully this helps you. Hopefully this answers some of your questions. I couldn't get to all of them, but some of your questions. All right, guys. Have a good one.